Well, the Dan Ashworth push to Man United has gone ahead to pay off results. He has been really given a gardening leave, and obviously Man United have gone ahead to obviously step into the center stage of obviously getting him to the club of Man United as the new sporting director. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's obviously a Monday, and it's the second I think the second last Monday, right? Because next week on Sunday, it's going to be 25th, meaning that this is the second last Monday of February. And next week, we are going to be kick-starting the new month of March. So, how are you doing? And hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is Rock and David. You can as well call me already. Fabrizio Romano, David Austin, Rob Dawson, and very many others into the mix as we discuss Dan Ashworth to United push, being convinced by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Dave Bracefold, Berada, and very many others. Eric Ten Hag excited about this man. Now, we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. Let's say close to 150 likes much on this video, and don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month. Now, David Austin was the first one to break this story last night. He said Newcastle sporting director Dan Ashworth has asked to leave the club. Man United 152-year-old for same role. No formal Man United approach to Newcastle yet, but will follow, plus talks must take place over compensation. Gardening leave given that he really got it from Craig Hope in there for you and very many others. Then he went ahead to also add that Dan Ashworth has been placed on gardening leave by Newcastle, follows request to leave as a sporting director to join Man United. Newcastle want £20 million, 52-year-old on full pay. Man United ready to wait as don't intend to pay what they deem unrealistic sum. So it all started last night to join momentum, and when it gained momentum, it really went exactly where most of you want it to be. It was all about Dan Ashworth coming in through and really putting in a transfer request to leave the club of Newcastle, because this chance doesn't come twice. There are chances in life that don't come twice. That is it. Those in love know it, you know. Someone can give you time and give you time and give you time, but when you mess it around, there is no way that person will obviously get back to you. So those that have been ships, you know that very well. So this is like a shipping matter that when United, who is the most beautiful woman around, comes in through and really shows interest in you, what do? You just have come and give in, because every person who has been in England has grown up seeing Manchester United being triumphant. Out of the 30 years the Premier League has gone ahead to leave, Manchester United has dominated 20 of those years, and it has been just the last 10 years or the last decade that has not gone ahead to see Man United dominate this football. But the rest have been dominated by Man United. It's evident, it's written all over the wall. You can not love Man United, but the fact is Manchester United has been the helm of the first 20 years of the Premier League. Where Sir Alex Ferguson wanted to dominate it. He won it 3 consecutive times. Twice. He has won 2 consecutive times, like twice. He really won it very many times, and he took United to 20 league titles, you know. And this guy is really the most historical club manager ever. So if you grew up in England and United was the biggest team there, what comes to your mind when a team like Man United, you grew up even looking at and knowing how good they are, with good players, historical managers, and they're into what we call a very bad state. They're into a valley, and that valley calls upon for experience to obviously get them out. All the ship is sinking to the rock bottom of the sea, and they are calling in for your services. Can you say no? You know, sometimes I even saw Roy Keane. I'm going to come out and really bring you a story next time about Roy Keane. I went ahead and really said Dan Ashworth is really that kind of guy who is really a journeyman, that he comes at Brighton, spends there 2 seasons, goes to Newcastle, 1 season there, and is going to Man United. Because it's like that, because everyone wants to look at the epitome. Everyone wants to reach the epitome of what he's doing. Now, for Dan Ashworth, when he looks at Man City, you know, Begristan is not leaving soon. Soriano is not leaving soon. Arsenal, you know, Edu is not leaving soon. Liverpool, their sporting director is not leaving soon. When you look at Chelsea, you know, their sporting director is not leaving soon. Which other team is there to talk about? You know, Man United is the only top team in the Premier League that is left with no competent sporting director. And he is the best sporting director in England. And he knows that a chance has been given to him to prove to everyone that he can do it. And for me, I really feel good for him, because why would you stop someone from obviously trying it out at the very best? Because he has gone ahead to prove it all. At West Bromwich Albion, he proved it. At the England national team, he proved it. When they went to the World Cup of 2018 with young talents, it was a decision that he told the FA to go with and the manager, and that's why you saw to it that England took a very young squad in 2018. 6 years back, Harry Kane was 25. You get? Harry Maguire was, I think, also 25, 24. Then Kylian Trippier was like 24. You know, Luke Shaw, I think, was like 23. John Stones was like 22. Who was playing that midfield of when you look at Dyer, you know, he also played part in that midfield. There was even Del Ali. All those people were really playing a very huge part into that season for the for the country of England. He made a decision to get in those young superstars, and when he brought them in, they went ahead and really performed very well, because those youngsters, Rashford, Raheem Sterling, all those were young, and they went ahead to really not take what we call the experienced players with them. So he has gone ahead to prove it at Brighton. You see how he's going ahead to obviously transform Brighton. You've gone ahead to see how he's gone ahead to transform Newcastle, their recruitment and the quality of players they're supposed to bring in through. Bruno Guimaraes, look at him. Sandro Tinali, Alexandra Isak, Gordon, Bootman. You get? All those players have been really good. And by the way, some of those players were wanted by Man United. For example, Tinali, Kylian Trippier, you know, such players. And the recruitment at Newcastle is really at a next level because of this man. So if a chance has been granted to him to come in through and really go ahead and really do the best, I think he has it all, and I cannot blame him. I would only blame him if at all it was like at a club like Man United and a club like Newcastle came in through and really stepped down to Newcastle. For example, you can't tell me that however much Ange Postecoglou is at Tottenham Hotspur performing like that if at all a club like Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Man City comes for him, will say no. Eddie Howe, who is the manager of Newcastle, if any of those clubs I've gone ahead to mention comes for him, he will tell his bosses, I want to go. You know? So it's written nowhere that you are supposed to stay at a small team. Newcastle is a small team, and maybe this guy is really having a very huge brain that is needed elsewhere to operate. And with the people around him, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, David Brosfold, Omar Berrada, Joan Cloud, you know, name it, and Eric Ten Hag, you know, he just couldn't obviously miss out on such an opportunity. This is a big opportunity that this guy couldn't obviously miss out. And I really understand why they've gone ahead to give him what we call a gardening leave. Then, Fabrizio Romano early this morning told us that Man United will make formal proposal to Newcastle soon as they will try to negotiate compensation to have Dean Ashworth right now. Not easy, but talks will take place. It's over between Dan Ashworth and Newcastle after he said yes to Man United project last week, as reported. So it's over. It's over, and Newcastle has nothing to obviously come in through and really ask for apart from the compensation from Man United, and he finally goes out of Newcastle. And yesterday, by the way, I read a story that they reached an extent of coming in through and blocking his access to all the machines and accounts at Newcastle as far as the sporting role job is concerned, the scouting reports and everything, meaning that they had really thrown him out of the bus because they wouldn't want him to obviously go with some of the things that Newcastle have gone ahead to scout, because they're afraid they might have gone ahead to scout players for the summer and he might obviously break those. But I think that doesn't matter, because every scout, every agent contacts this guy, that is Dan Ashworth. So he knows everything that Newcastle has been up to, and he knows what their plans have been. And I tell you what, he's going to come up with a lot of players that is going to present to Eric Ten Hag, the board, Omar Berrada, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe to see how things are really going to unfold there at the club of Man United. Alex Crook has come out again and really said a lot about this story. Remember, he's one of those journalists that was really spot on this guy. Now, Newcastle CEO Darren Eales has come out and said, "We are naturally disappointed that Dan Ashworth has chosen to leave. However, exciting journey doesn't stop, and the process to recruit a new sporting director will begin immediately." So there are very many sporting directors that are not English that are really good, but this one has been English and he's really good, and he has gone ahead to scout very many players, and he's really good at his work. As I told you before, he's described as the best sporting director in England, and he's really rated highly. That's why Man United have gone ahead to obviously oversee all others and said, we are really settling on this guy. And the pendulum have finally settled on Dan Ashworth, and he is also pushing to join Man United, and very soon we will wait and see what is going to be given to this guy. But all I can let you know, United have gone ahead to acquire one of the best. This is what I've always told you. Everyone who is everyone who thinks Ten Hag should be out, why don't you give him a chance to work under a competent management or a competent board and see what results he's gonna produce? And this is why I told you that this guy is really blessed. If the Glazers were to have one more season without this guy, without the Ineos side, I think it was gonna be hard for Eric Ten Hag to really survive here. But with this guy in, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and very many others, Eric Ten Hag is the most blessed guy that you'll ever see. You know, he's gonna be gotten the players he wants, and he'll obviously get to where we want to be, because we know how good he is. We might see United playing as Ajax next season, because these people are going to call in for a style of play, especially Omar Berrada, the CEO, and Dan Ashworth, the new sporting director of Man United, and the rest will be history, and we're going to see lots and lots of things happening. Then Rob Dawson, correspondent of Man United for the ESPN, has said it's growing increasingly likely that Man United will look to pay a lower amount of compensation to Newcastle for Dan Ashworth, with him serving at least some gardening leave, possibly until February 2025. United have concerns about breaching profit and sustainability rules, and are conscious they would not want to need to help Newcastle fix their financial difficulties while making their own worse. But I tell you, Newcastle is in a strong point. However much this guy is going to hate to say, I want to leave, he has pushed for this, United have to cough out this money. I don't know how they're going to negotiate it down, but Newcastle will stand their ground because they're annoyed. That is it. As you're going to hate to see their CEO coming out and saying, we are really disappointed in what Dan Ashworth has gone ahead to do. So I really understand from what point they're obviously speaking from. This guy, he's really good, and he's going to be missed at Newcastle. But we welcome him at Man United. And the moment it's that Man United have gone ahead to come to common ground with the Newcastle, United will put up an article like they went ahead to put out that of Omar Berrada as the new CEO for the club of Man United. So guys, your thoughts on Dan Ashworth to Man United, almost closing in, I welcome in the comment section below. And what do you think about his recruitment and what he's going to bring to the club of Manchester United? And may the living to God bless you abundantly. Sign out for now. See you later, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. Bye-bye.